Okay, so today's card for the week is Hidden Worlds. Now, normally when I work with Raziel, it's because they want to reveal secrets that are relevant to the world now, but also that are relevant to me. So things that I have to work on that I've either been avoiding or that I need to start paying attention to. So let's see what Raziel wants to say today. Yes, we're coming in rather quickly, but what we are saying is that, as many have pointed out, that the veils between the worlds are now starting to become thinner and thinner, that many people are now experiencing the first stages of their psychic ability, that they are starting to encounter beings that before the rise of the vibration of this planet, they would not have been able to connect to as easily as they can now. Many people now have to start working a different way, because what has happened is that the old ways, though still pertinent, they have to be revamped, speeded up, shall we say, because whereas before it would take someone several years, from anything to 10 to 20 years, to be at the top of their game as a medium or as a channeler, due to the energy now changing, this is speeding up exponentially for people. It is cutting the time in half. And with some people, because they have done it in a past life, that past life is aiding them in speeding up their development. However, we would say a little bit of a warning is that many of you who are told that in a past life you were a great healer or you were a great psychic or medium or whatever, we ask that you look to your physical form. Because just because you were that thing in another life does not mean that your physical body is ready for it in this life. So that is where the training comes in. That is why it is still pertinent to have the mediumship training and to have the channeling training, because they will help you to progress your physical form so that you can do the work. Because the beings already know you can hold them. The beings already know that you can connect to them, that your physical form is the block. So that is why, as your ascension symptoms, shall we call it, start to recede, you will also notice that these beings will start to step into your energy. And this is where the training comes in, that you have to refuse this, because you are still required to be in control of your physical form. Just because you have been told that you serve spirit does not give spirit the right to just take over. It is, we would not use the word possession, but it is still inappropriate for them to just step in and begin to speak to another person because you are in the vicinity of them. They have to ask permission. They have to say, can we please speak to this person? And then you have to discern whether it is appropriate, because the person in front of you may not be able to receive a disembodied person speaking through you, giving them a message. So this is where the game changes. This is where many people will start to awaken to their gifts. And this is where the hidden worlds comes into it, because the hidden worlds that were in 4 and 3D are now not going to be hidden anymore. And many people will think that they are mad. Many people will think that they are possessed. Many people will think that they are being psychically attacked. But what it is that it is a calling for you to get training. It is a calling for you to start to create boundaries with your energy and your physical form, so that you can start to work on your physical form so that it can hold more light, that you can work with your physical form so that you are able to hold the energy of an immense being far easier. Now, we would also say is that many people are told you can hold this energy, you are connected to this great being. But again, we go back to if your body is not ready for it, that being cannot connect to you in the way that it wishes to, because it is of the principle your vibration is not high enough. This being has to drop their vibration, and often many of the higher vibrational beings will not do that. They will wait for you to raise your vibration to the highest form that is able to connect to them before they will start working with you properly. So if you are working with certain beings, we would ask that you check that it is that being and that it is not someone using that name so that they can connect to you and start to give their messages, because you'll be more receptive if instead of calling themselves Joe Blogs, they call themselves by Archangel Michael or whatever. So this is why we have to get you to discern, why we have to get you to check, why we have to make sure that when an energy steps in, you ask them, do you serve the light? And you ask them 3 times. And if at any point you do not get a positive answer, then you ask Archangel Michael or your guardian angels to remove this being from you and send them away, because they have no right to be in your energy if you do not want them in your energy. And this goes for beings of light as well. If you feel overwhelmed by their presence, you have the right to say, I'm sorry, I can't work with you at this time, because this one has worked with many beings, and at times they have been overwhelmed because the energy of the being is so immense and they are not ready for them energetically. They have had to ask them to step back or to decrease their energy. And so, as they have worked on their energy to be able to hold this being and allow them to speak, the other being is also being able to lower their energy, but only for small periods of time, because being a high vibrational, immense energy, it is a lot of work to vibrate at a lower frequency than what is expected. So, again, this sort of work will have many, many people called to it, but you have to do the work in order for you to be able to hold their energies. And this is where, again, we go back to saying that you have to ensure you've done the training, because many people say they are natural this, they are natural that, but on some level, they have been trained in their sleep by their guides team if they do not have the problems that other people have when they are going through training. Because this is what happens, is that if some beings are called to service and they haven't got the time, they will be trained in their sleep. And then when they have got the time, then they can speed up with their training because they have been helped by their teams, their spirit teams, to do what they need to do. So this is why we ask you to be patient with yourselves, to again discern, where am I? Am I the person who needs to go to physical training, or, as these devices are now being used, the virtual training, or do we need to allow our teams to train us in our sleep? And from there, you will then know what you have to do next. But your teams expect you to step up and to do the work. They do not appreciate people who say they're going to do something and then they slack, because now that we are entering the 5th dimension, and we say we as in the spirit world, the higher dimensions, and yourselves, there is going to be a lot of change on the energetic field, because what worked before will not work now, because you were combating 3D living. You are now moving into 5th dimensional flow, which means that as you are in 5th dimensional flow, you will be connecting to each other as well. So again, you must create boundaries so that you are not allowing the energy of others of, shall we say, an inappropriate vibration to become a part of your life. All beings should be working on connecting at a heart vibration, not a controlling vibration, a heart vibration, a vibration of oneness, a vibration of connection to each other in a loving, unconditional way. And if you are not, then that being is not working at the heart level. They are working at a controlling level, a manipulating level, and you must follow the process of disconnecting from them, be it cord cutting or white light or whatever, so that that being's energy is no longer influencing you. So we will leave it there for now. But as we say, the hidden worlds are going to be becoming more and more apparent. And we ask you all to start to not be, as some would say, freaked out by this, but start to look for help when this happens. Start to ask for help as to how do I manage my energy now that the energy of the planet is making me change my vibration, so that you can manage yourself and you can manage what is being brought to you. So we will leave it there. So yes, all the hidden worlds are starting to come out. And for some people that's frightening. It's very, very frightening because their world is looking a totally different way. Some people may start to see energy around things. Some people may start to see shapes and colour and all manner of things. So again, rather than try and do it by yourself, find people who can help you to manage it. And as I say, it's the basics are good, but as the energy changes, the world and how you are able to manage your energy is going to change as well. So I'll leave you there for now. Bye.